we give you all the glory. I am honored to be here, and it's a privilege to be here, and I thank God. So we're going to lift up our Bibles. We're going to do something we've never done. It's faith. Faith. Lift up your Bible. If you have your Bible, if it's your phone, if you don't have one, you have faith that you get one. You can lift up your head and say, repeat after me, Jesus, I thank you for this word.
I thank you for this word.
I pray as I receive it, that you give me your Holy Spirit, to help understand it, to use it, as a seed in my life, so that I may enjoy the blessing. In Jesus' name. Amen. I am honored to be here. Thank you, Pastor, for giving me this opportunity, and may God bless you. So, for those who write, our topic today is mindset of a supernatural harvester. Mindset of a supernatural harvester. And the subtopic will be a culture of honor. Culture of honor. Let's all turn to our Bibles to Mark chapter 6. Mark chapter 6, verse 1 to 6. Mark chapter 6, verse 1 to 6. And can I have somebody read it?
Then he went out from there and came to his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath had come, he began to teach the synagogue. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, Where did this man get his things? And what wisdom is this which is given to him, that such mighty works are performed by his hands? Is this not the carpenter, son of Mary, brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Are not his sisters here with us? So they were offended at him. But Jesus said to them, A prophet is not without honor except in his own country, among his own relatives, and in his own house. Now, he could do no mighty works there except that he laid hands on a few sick people and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief. Then he went out about the villages in circuit teaching.
Amen. A prophet is not without honor except in his country, among his relatives, in his own town. Let's go to Proverbs, the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs 3, verse 9 to 10. Honor the Lord with your possessions and with the first fruits of all your increase. So your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will overflow with new wine. Let's also go to 1 Corinthians chapter 6. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Verse 19 to 20. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Verse 19 to 20. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have from God, and you're not your own? For you were bought at a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. So today we want to learn about honor. Building a culture of honor. So when you have a culture, like in this house, we have different cultures. And especially if you're from Kenya, we can tell from which culture you're from, the things you do, the way you do, the food you eat. So we are able to identify you. from that. The same thing here at JICC. We want to build a culture of honor. So what is a culture? A culture is the attitude and behavior characteristics of a particular group. We want to have a certain attitude as people. We want to have behaviors that when people from outside look, they can tell for sure JICC people, they have honor. They honor their pastor. They honor each other. They honor God for what they do. So what is honor? Honor is adding value to something. Is regarding with high respect. Honor is a virtue you learn. You're not born with it. You learn and you give it to others. It is not a gift. Because you can be born with a talent, you are able to sing. You'll never see somebody born with honor. Anybody who honors people, they learn how to honor. Honor enhances potential. If you honor somebody who has potential, they are able to take that potential and turn it into something active. If, for example, you see somebody who sings, if you honor them, you treat them with respect, you add value to them, they are able to sing better because you see what they have and you value it, and in return, they take it and value it themselves. Honor is a seed that lasts you a lifetime. So when you honor, it's like you're planting a seed. So the seed, the honor is a seed. If, for example, you teach your kids how to honor, then they will teach their kids how to honor, and then their grandkids will in turn honor you. So whatever you honor, it's like you're planting, it grows, and then it pays you in return. Honor is something we're supposed to honor anything that is head. Anything that is head of anything, we're supposed to honor. We're supposed to honor God first. We're supposed to honor our pastors, our church leaders. We're supposed to honor our parents. We're supposed to honor our presidents, our leaders, our parents, even our head. If you see somebody, the first thing you see is their head. If their head is messed up, what comes into your mind is this person doesn't value the head because they don't take time to take care of it. So if you see every woman, they take time to put on makeup, to make their hair because they value that. So anything that is head, we take care of it, we value it, we honor it. The same thing with your house. Your roof. If you don't fix the roof of your house, like now if it's raining, everything you own will be messed up. So you take care of the roof. If there's something people take care of, if you're going to buy a house and you hear that the roof is broken, you just stop buying it and wait for them to fix it. So anything that you know is ahead of something, you are supposed to honor it. In the 10 Commandments, the first 4 commandments are about honoring God. And the 5th one is about honoring the parent. And that commandment comes with a promise for long life. So, you've learned about honor. Anything that has a positive has a negative. So what is dishonor? So dishonor is to devalue something. So honor, you add value. When you dishonor, you devalue. If you talk good of your parents, you're adding. If you talk negative about your parents, you're taking out value. Dishonor is also failure to respect. You know when you're supposed to respect something and you don't respect, that is dishonor. How does dishonor result? Lack of teaching results to dishonor. You know, when people are not taught how to honor, they do not know how to honor. When a child is born, as they grow, you teach them how you want them to be. So, if we don't teach honor in the house of God, people will always think what they think is what is supposed to be done. So honor has to be taught in the house of God. You have to be taught how to behave in the altar. When you come in, how you come in the house of God. I remember in Kenya, the way every Christian greets one another, they greet one another, praise God. And the reason behind it is because the culture wants to honor God in every occasion. When you meet somebody, if you're a born-again Christian, you say praise God. So the reason behind this is to honor God. Dishonor disables potential. So when you have potential in you and somebody comes and devalues it, whatever you have potential in it doesn't grow. If you have a child who is talented and you don't value what they have, trust you me, they will not even try to discover what they have. If they are a singer or they let's say they can play piano and they miss a note and you start condemning them, they will not have the desire to even want to do it again because they feel dishonored. So dishonor can disable potential. Dishonor inhibits the supernatural. Dishonor inhibits the supernatural. You know, from the text we read that Jesus was raised up in Nazareth. And when he went back there, the people did not receive him. They knew him. They saw him grow. They saw him being a carpenter. And now he's coming here to say that he can heal the sick. They were familiar with him. They knew him as a carpenter. How could he read from the book of Isaiah and say that talk about the Messiah, talk about forgiving sin, talk about, miracles? So when dishonor comes in, these people, they knew Jesus, but they did not know him from that perspective. They did not respect what he had. They did not respect the power that was flowing from him. So, and if you read from this text or from the book of Luke, Jesus did not do many miracles in Nazareth. He went somewhere else and did a lot of miracles, raised the dead and everything. So the same thing, dishonor blocks the supernatural. The same thing can happen here at JICC. We have our pastor. We've known him. I've known him for a long time. Some of you are born with him. You brothers and sisters, some of you know him for a long time. If we become too familiar, if we just see him as just a man, a normal man, become so familiar with him and fail to see the power of God in him, fail to see the anointing in him, we will take him for granted. Pastor will come here, he will preach, but that anointing will not get to you. Because you're familiar. You're saying, this is pastor. The same person we go to work with, the same person we play basketball with. So familiarity can bring dishonor. So you need to see behind that. You need to see behind that and know when God uses somebody, it's not that person.
Amen.
When we are able to look past that, when you just look at me as Zara, the person you knew, the person who comes there, don't see me as me. See what God is putting in me, the one He is putting in me so that you can receive it. That's what we call honor. When you don't take that person for who they are, you look beyond that and see what God is putting in them, and you use that word to bless you. Dishonor can be contagious. You know, we have so many diseases that are very contagious. We have C. But if you don't clean your hands well, it's going to spread to the next person.
That's right.
If you look at leprosy in the Bible,
Yep.
people who had leprosy,
Yes.
they were put outside. Because leprosy was very, very contagious. Let's open our Bibles in Numbers. Numbers 12. Numbers 12, verse 1. Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because the Ethiopian woman whom he married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. So they said, has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us, and not the Lord had it? Now the man Moses was very humble, more than all men who were on the face of the earth. Suddenly the Lord said to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, come out, you three, to the tabernacle of meeting. So the three came out. Then the Lord came down in the pillar of cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both went forward. Then he said, hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, make myself known to him in a vision. I spake to him in a dream.
Yes.
Not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. I speak with him face to face, even plainly and not in dark saying. And he sees the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? So the anger of the Lord was aroused against them, and he departed. And when the cloud departed from above the tabernacle, suddenly Miriam became leprous, as white as snow. Then Aaron turned toward Miriam, and there she was, a leper. So Aaron said to Moses, oh my Lord, please do not lay this sin on us, in which we have done foolishly, and in which we have sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead, whose flesh is half consumed when he comes out of his mother's womb. So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, please heal her, O God, I pray. Then the Lord said to Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, would she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and afterward she may be received again. So Miriam was shut out of the camp 7 days, and the people did not journey till Miriam was brought in again. If you know the story of Moses, Moses was used by God And here comes Moses. He marries an Ethiopian woman who was black. And that's why Miriam and Aaron are very furious, because they're like, how can you marry a black woman? You know, some of these things started a long time ago. And the amazing thing in this story is that God He had what Miriam and Aaron were dishonoring Moses. They were questioning Moses. And God told them to come outside. And as you heard, Miriam was stuck with leprosy. You know, leprosy is a disease that affects your nerves ending that you can't feel. And as we say, dishonor is like leprosy. When you have dishonor, you can't feel. It's like there's a block. You can't feel the anointing of God. You can't feel, you can't get what God is talking to you. When you have a spirit of dishonor, the pastor will come here, he will preach, and you will not even hear about, you will take it for granted. So, I don't know whether you've had people who say, like, I can't feel anything. They do everything, they use their hands to touch everything. So if you have a spirit of dishonor, you'll come to church, you use your gift, what God has given you, but if you dishonor the anointing in the house, you will not feel what God has intended you. You will not experience the anointing. You will come to the house of God year after year after year, and you will not experience it. So we have to learn to have the spirit of honor, to honor the altar, to honor the church leaders. When Miriam dishonored Moses, they did not just assume and say, oh, no, it's okay. Dishonor has to be dealt with. Dishonor, if you look in the Bible, when Moses was working so hard to get the children of Israelites to go to Canaan. Yes. And every time there was a distraction, he did not assume it. He dealt with it. Remember when Korah and Dathan came in and tried to oppose him? He's working so hard, and I can just relate that to pastors who are trying so much. Like this year, God has given us is the year of supernatural. The pastor is working so hard, trying to get people to receive the blessing of supernatural powers. And then we get somebody with a spirit of dishonor and comes and tries to distract the pastor, tries to distract the praise and worship, tries to distract the members. You know how it feels? I was reading this book and I could feel how Moses felt. He was working so hard to get the children to where God had promised them. Yes. And here comes Korah and Dathan, trying to distract everybody. And Moses stood there and said, if the God I serve is surely with me, may you cause something that is not natural to erase this dishonor. And guess what? They stood there and the earth opened and they were swallowed by the earth and the earth came back. Yes. Dishonor diminishes life. Yes. When there is a spirit of dishonor, it cuts. You know, the blessing you're supposed to have, it cuts it. It diminishes. Remember Micah, the daughter of Saul? Yeah. You know, when Saul was there, he gave his daughter to David to become his wife. But then Saul was using it as a snare so that he can catch David. But David went somewhere else and they never got to be husband and wife. So Micah was given to somebody else. Later on, when Saul dies, David asked wife. And you can see the seed of dishonor, how it passes from generation to generation. Saul had a seed of dishonor, and that seed went to Micah. When Micah saw David dancing, David was dancing because he had brought back the Ark of the Covenant.
That's right.
But Micah did not see what David was seeing. All Micah would see was, why is he dancing half naked? And here David is saying, glory to God,
Yes.
the Ark of Covenant is back. Micah despised David. And from the Bible, from 2 Samuel, we see Micah, even though she was married to David, she never bore any children. So dishonor diminishes life.
That's right.
Instead of enhancing life, it diminishes. But honor removes shame, and also is a seed that can last you a lifetime. We know David was a man after God's heart because he was humble. When you're proud, when you have pride and unforgiveness, it can lead to dishonor. We see David as a very humble man. Even when he sinned, he was able to go back to God. If you look at his life, when he ordered Uriah to be killed, and he slept with Bathsheba, and they had a child, God came and rebuked him, and that son died. And David repented to God, and he was humble. And later on, him and Bathsheba got a son called Solomon. So, because David was honoring God, God removed that shame. Even though he had sinned with Bathsheba, he was so humble, and because he was honoring God, God removed that shame, and from his honor, we see how this seed is being manifested. We see David having Solomon. We can see Solomon is associated with the book of Proverbs. We see Solomon is associated with Ecclesiastes, wisdom. Today, if there's a book you read about wisdom, it's from the Bible. Why? Because David had a seed of honor. Honor is something that we need to have in this house. Honor, honor, honor. If there's anything that's going to ring in your head this week, is honor. 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 In Proverbs 3, verse 9 to 10, it's talk about honoring God with your wealth and your fast food. 1 Corinthians 6, 19 to 10 talks about honoring God with your body. So it's as JICC. How do we honor God in this house? We are all from different countries. We are all from different churches back in the countries everybody came from. But how do we start honoring God in this place? So the Bible says, honor God with your fast fruits. Today I'm going to challenge you. What is your fast fruit? What is your fast fruit that you give to God? Today is a Super Bowl Sunday. If I preach till 4 o'clock, I'm sure nobody will be seated here. Everybody will walk out. Why? Because I'm not honoring your time. I'm not honoring your time. So how do we honor God? With our time here at JICC. God gave you 158 hours every week. We come here 2 hours. 158 hours. Out of that, we give God 2 hours. So when you come to church from 10:30 to 12:30, what do you do with that time? Are you a thief? Do you steal from God? Are you on the phone when the preacher is preaching? Are you outside talking to other people? Are you watching something on your phone? Are you talking to your friend? What are you robbing God? God gives you 158 hours, and then you give him those 2. But out of those 2, you're still stealing. So JICC, how do we honor God with our fast food? With our time. Number 1, prepare before you come. Prepare yourself physically and spiritually. Because if we don't do that, we're going to be checking our phone when it rings for messages. We're going to be running it up and down to quench our thirst. We're going to be talking to our friends, updating them. We're going to be checking our phone. Today is Super Bowl. I'm sure people are checking to see. I'm hoping nobody is doing that. So, fast foods. And this is, we are building a culture of honor here at JICC. Proverbs 3:9-10. Honor God with the fast food. Your time is number 1. You know, the only thing that you have control, you as a person, the value thing that you have, you as a person, is time. You can manage your time. You can decide to use it wisely, or you can waste it. So, all I'm requiring for JICC, as we build a culture of honor, God gave you 158 hours. The 2 hours we come here on Sunday, let's give it to God. Let's prepare before we come. Let's sit still. If you're teaching Sunday school, go and give your best. Prepare before you come. If it's the audio team, as they listen to us, they are giving us the best. If you're in the congregation, please do not use your phone. Do not steal from God. Remember from this day, if you use a phone here at church during service, you're stealing from God, and we'll call you a thief. Because a thief is somebody who steals something that doesn't belong. So if you are using a phone, you're stealing God. So if you see somebody using a phone during service, be free to tell them, please do not break the 10 commandments. You're already doing it.
That's true.
Be a servant. When you come into the house of God, let's take the house of God as our own. Own the house of God. Own JICC. If you see something wrong, just, help. Bring it into the correct way. Please, let's make it clean. Do not be a distraction to others. You can come to church with the right intention. You have prepared physically, spiritually, but you are a distraction to others. You make the other person not to experience the power of God. You come to church, you haven't showered 10 days. You are stinking. Trust me, you will be a distraction to you. And that person will have come to experience the power of God, but they will miss it because of you. You come to church dressing seductively. You distract another man. You make another woman worry what was going on in their head. You are a distraction to another person. You are dishonoring God. Those are the things we don't teach. We need to teach. Honor is taught. Dishonor results from lack of teaching. If you are in the altar, you should be representing God. If I come here and start preaching and doing like this, what will come in your head will be like, what happened to Mrs. Pastor? Did she take some psychiatric meds? We try in our best to be representative of God. The way we dress, the way we talk. Time is a very small thing. But it can do mighty things. The way you talk. Be aware. Because sometimes you walk in and somebody will say something and all you're going to think during the service, oh my God, what did they say? Be mindful. Let your words represent God. Let your word be a blessing. That's the culture we want to build here.
Amen.
The way you talk, the way you dress, the way you relate to others. Be a servant. Let's represent God. So that when everybody comes here, they are blessed. You know, one thing I commend JICC is a spirit of a sense of belonging.
Yes.
You know, I've never had somebody saying, oh, I don't want to be in that church. You know, everybody has a sense of belonging. So that's something we've built as a culture of honor. You know, we honor each other. You respect one another. You know, you take into consideration. So let's continue building that, a culture of honor. That way, we don't bring dishonor, which is like leprosy, and we don't experience the power of God.
Amen.
So that's how we honor God. Number 2, honoring the men of God. We have our pastor, we have our elders. You know, when we honor our pastors and our elders, we honor the office. The office that the pastor holds is what we honor.
Amen.
Because God has put him there as the pastor. And if I reverse that, imagine if we had a dishonoring pastor. You come in here and tell pastor, I need your prayer. And then the pastor starts condemning you. Why did you do this? Why? Eh? Do you know that's why God is punishing you? Why? And then he goes telling people, you know why this person is not getting blessed? It's because they did this and this. Can you imagine how it would feel when our pastor has a dishonoring spirit? So we need to learn to honor that office. If it's our elders, we need to learn how to honor them. We add value to them. That doesn't mean they won't have shortcomings. They will have their shortcomings. But are we going to dishonor them because of their shortcomings? No, we are not. God has commanded us to honor that office, to honor that anointing. We should not touch the anointed one. It says in Psalms 1, I think it's Psalms 115, do not touch my anointing. So we have to honor them. You know, David was a very honoring person. When one man came and told him that he killed Saul, you would have thought that David would be rejoicing and dancing up and down and reward this person, and pick them up and reward them. But guess what? David honored the anointing. He knew if God has called somebody, if God has put his anointing on somebody, regardless what they do, you are to honor them. So this man expected that David was going to laugh, was going to, give him a gift for what he did. But guess what? David told him, you did something wrong because you touched the anointed. We also see David, his commander of the army, Joab. He went and killed 2 other men behind his back without even telling him. Because those men were plotting evil against David. But David condemned Joab for doing that. What are you doing behind the pastor? What are you doing behind the elders? What do you do when the elders say this, let's move forward? When the pastor says, let's move forward, what do you do behind their back? Maybe sometimes you don't know, you think, oh, I don't agree with that. Honor doesn't mean you agree with something. Honor, you agree to disagree with respect.
Amen.
You come to pastor and say, what you said, I do not agree. But if the Lord has put that in your heart and you truly believe, let's go with it. You agree with respect. You respect that office. So what are you doing behind there that you think is right, but if you think again, it's dishonoring? You know, in every area, there are protocols. If you go to your job, you're supposed to clock in at this time, and then you clock out at this time. You go to break at this time, and then clock out at this time. If you go beyond that, they will deduct from your paycheck. Because there are protocol, there are things to be followed. Even in the house of God, we have protocols. We have order. We cannot have disorder in the house of God. If I was preaching and you are all moving around and doing things, God will not be able to deliver what He has intended. So in the house of God, there are protocols. That's why we have leaders. We have pastor as the head of everything. We have elders. We have ministries where we have leaders. If it's the women ministry, Mama Elsie is in charge of that. I will not go there today and say we are doing this. No, I have to consult her. Yes. Even though I'm the pastor's wife, I know Mama Elsie is in charge of that ministry. So if I need something done, I will talk to Mama Elsie. But I will not go there and start something and do something without her knowledge. The same thing with the praise and worship. Protocols. We have leaders. If it's something that you need done, there's Shiku, there's Mushero, Elder Mushero. So we go by that. We follow them. We see where they are doing with the vision. We talk to them. We do not go behind their back and start talking to their, their praise and worship team and telling this. No. There are protocols. Amen. Dishonor results from lack of teaching. So we have to teach this. And when I was researching, teaching for honor, it's the least taught topic in church. Because people want to hear, they want to get blessed. They want to hear the positive message. You will get that positive message, but it will take you for a short time. But if you learn how to honor, that honor will take you a lifetime. I'm sure you know people you associate with honor. If there's one person I associate with honor, it's my husband. He honors me as the wife. He honors his kids as his own kids. And I know he honors every one of you in this church. So if we get that spirit of honor, it will take us a lifetime. Our theme this year is a supernatural harvest. We say honor is a seed that can last you a lifetime. If we want to experience the supernatural harvest, we have to have honor. Because we don't want to get blessed and a year down the line, our blessings have gone because we don't know how to honor. We want to have that culture of honor. We want to have that spirit of honor. So when the supernatural harvest comes, when the supernatural blessings come, we are able to enjoy them, and it takes us a lifetime. So our children will be blessed, our grandchildren will be blessed, our great-grandchildren will be blessed. Amen. So honor. Dishonor blocks the supernatural. Yes, it does. And our thing is supernatural harvest. If we have the spirit of dishonor, we are not going to experience this harvest. When Satan dishonored God, he was thrown out of heaven. And his mission to that day is to block the supernatural. He comes when you're listening to block you from hearing the word of God. He makes you have those strongholds so that you don't experience the power of God. Yeah. So dishonor blocks the supernatural. If we have to experience the supernatural blessings, we have to have a spirit of honor. We say dishonor is like leprosy. It makes I will speak the word that God has given me. You just take it as a word and you will not even feel it. So we need to have honor. We need to treat people for what they have inside, not what you see from outside. Honor, honor, honor. We honor people for what God has put in them, regardless of their shortcomings. You know, if you go to jail, most of the people who are in jail, they are not there because they honor. They are there because they dishonor most of the laws, most of the protocols. They are told God has given this person life and they have to leave. They come in and kill that person. They dishonor the law of God. They go to a store. You're not supposed to steal. They steal. They are put to jail. So dishonor diminishes life. Honor is a seed that creates generation. If we teach honor, we will harvest from it. If we live the culture of honor, we will reap and enjoy the blessing in a lifetime. You know, there's one thing of knowing and there's another one of understanding. And I wasn't born honoring. I have come to learn that honor is something you learn over and over. So we all need to learn that. We all need to honor. There are times I know I've dishonored, but I repent. And looking back, I'm like, I didn't know that was dishonor. We must be humble. We must realize when we dishonor and be humble like David and ask for forgiveness. So as we stand up, as we are experiencing, let's have our praise and worship. Let's all stand up. As we continue with this supernatural